Yep.
Game is live, and so we're going to head in right now.
Game 1 on the way. And, well, Sorlakan not hitting the tower. Yo Larson is going to be your player on the top.
I was just speaking of the Disciple, and it looks like Mogwai drew both copies. We'll see if we can make good use out of those.
Yeah, already now in this lane. I mean, the Disciple is basically increasing the damage onto Solar by 2, which means Solar can probably be ganked even by a creep next turn if Heffa doesn't get an additional gold, or makes it possible to play the no accident onto it next turn, and at the same time also deals 2 more additional damage from the Phantom Assassin. So I would be very surprised if you wouldn't see a Disciple here. Maybe even on the left side.
Yes, and I agree with the left side, because then you have that 25% chance of just taking out the Solar right now. But either way, it seems like it's a pretty good play here.
Very strong opening here for Mogwai, and over.
Okay. Interesting choice.
He might wanted to have like reacted or something too, but
I wonder if he's thinking about the fact that Yo Larson does have Debbie in his deck, and if you drop the Disciple, no accident could easily answer it.
Yep,
so maybe that's why he didn't play it.
All right, and now looking at this lane, this is nice for Lycan over here, but unfortunately he's in front of a Bristle who's slowly going to chunk him down for that bonus armor. But with the Rebel Decoy, you can swap Lycan to safety, and it'll still give that buff to the rightmost creep here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he has to do it right now, but I mean, might as well, I suppose.
Yeah, really good good thing that he put it on the right, so Lycan's still giving that right melee creep and +2 attack, and was able to trade favorably.
Okay. Now, Mogwai can play the Black Hero into the middle because of the No Accident. No Accident is a card which deals 3 damage onto any target, and in this case he can gank the hero, which also saves himself his hero, which is very powerful.
Yep, initiative going to be a big deal here. We can see that Joel does not have a No Accident at least yet. All green cards, wow.
That's a very awkward hand for Joel.
But if you're Mogwai here, you definitely want to hold on to the...
Okay.
I think he wanted to hold down to the initiative to make sure to kill off the... Yeah.
No accident onto Debbie. Unfortunately, no black cards for him to play here anyways.
Yeah. So if he was to play a card on the left lane, he actually would have gotten away with it and still been able to do the no accident. But
yeah, maybe still powerful, because then he would have gotten the hero gank for free as well. So it would have definitely helped. So in the worst case, he would have had one hero against another.
Rebel Decoy swaps with Abaddon and now at least stays alive for one more turn. And that active is a one round cooldown, so it will be back up again in the next round.
Oh, this is a very nice play. As Vol Martyr dies, it buffs everybody on the side of Yo's board, so...
Yeah, nice. Very good blocker too.
Yeah, lots of damage already to the left tower here at 24 health now. Mogwai now has 10 gold. Unfortunately, Wingfall Hammer blocking his cheaper options, but he could pick up a Potion of Knowledge to draw some more cards.
This game seems to be going rather slowly for Yo Larson. Is that a sign of worry if you're cheering for him?
It was a bit of a rough start, maybe drawing only green cards. It has really limited his options. He's definitely hoping to pick up some black cards as well, to be able to play stuff on the first lane, for example.
Yeah. And normally when he's playing the green cards, it's things like Savage Wolf or Selfish Cleric, some really strong creeps that are, dealing a lot of damage. And he's not even casting those, so it doesn't seem like Yo Larson is having a good time here.
Yeah, especially with 6 Assault Ladders in your deck, you're hoping to see something. And unfortunately, we've got a curve to the right on, well, at least you do kill off the hero, but Mogwai has that Furline Mantle if he wants to save his PA.
Or you can just throw a creep in front of the Sorla too.
He's been holding to those creeps, not really casting.
He's really valuing these disciples. What would you do here? Put a creep down or save the PA with an item?
I would go for a creep for sure. I mean, he should be playing his cards, so...
and if then it's the Uglodi, because...
Because you can save the item for later on. That is plus 8 health.
Yeah, you can also threaten his hero at the same time,
yes,
so why not?
The creep has to be better.
Yes. And on top of that, you have 4 of these anyways. So we do see that Vandal come out. We do have some options to save Sorla, though, on Yoel's side. He could equip a Traveler's Cloak or fully heal Sorla.
I know how to use this.
Yeah, Traveler's Cloak seems to be alright because the Fountain Plus is actually healing your hero to full HP, and full HP would have been only 4 life in this very instance, so he decides for the mantle.
No tower is impregnable.
Okay, Assault Ladder is going to come down here on the middle lane, so for the moment being, it looks like that's going to be the first place that Yol is looking to make a big push.
Yeah, improvement cards, of course, can be cast across the lanes, so that was casted from the first lane.
Furline Mantle goes into Debbie. So finally she has some survivable health, otherwise she's at 5.
How aggressively would you guys like to see, for example, Intimidation to be cast here
Well,
for Yol Larsen?
probably not yet. I mean, Intimidation is a card which you want to deploy once it's clear which lane is very important, or maybe the last lane you're fighting for. So you want to keep on it until you know what's up, and then you use it for the very late game.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the time here, because he also had quite a good play with that cleric available to him. So it wouldn't just be, if his options were intimidation or nothing, then it would be maybe a consideration. But it definitely looks like it's better to hold it on.
We are going to see the Disciple come down, and that's going to trade with the Selfish Cleric. And trading with the Cleric is always nice, because whenever he survives, he just heals always back to full.
That is the first of his 2 disciples down, though.
Yep.
So you will have to keep that in mind for any tower push later on.
It was quite efficient.
Well, there's a good Reftel Convoy. The Reftel Convoy is a card which gives you half the attack of the gold you own, and that makes it the Reftel Convoy much better in the very last lane, because that is a lane where you already have collected gold from the first 2 lanes before he basically comes or does his action.
Looks like he's opting for the Bronze Legionnaire plus the Rumesque Blessing. Gives everybody in the lane plus 3 health, which makes it live against the 5-3. And of course, it also buffs your 2 hero along the way.
Yeah, Rumusk Blessing also can be cast across lanes, but he's likely to be looking to cast it on this lane in this situation.
Okay, Divine Intervention will protect Yol's side of board as well.
We walk the same path.
Again, this looks like a very slow game, and I think that just benefits Mogwai, who has, I think
so too.
Bigger deck and a stronger late game.
I think the 3 copies of Hand of God because of the Chen. That is the signature card of Chen. So when you have Chen in your deck, you will have 3 Hand of Gods. Hand of God 7 cost card that makes all of your units immune, all allies immune for the round, and heals them to full. So in a bit of a grindy match where some creatures are damaged and there's a lot of things going on, a lot of stuff on the lane, that is an absolutely crazy powerful card to be having in your hand.
So we're going to see the Treant from Mogwai go into the mid lane and Debbie into the right.
Oh, nice routing.
Yeah.
All right, Sorlakan finds a tower for the first time. Can he actually? Can she actually get a hit in?
Yep, and will she survive?
She could. Yol Larsen could also think about ganking down the lane as well. Is there any good juicy gank target? That's maybe the Chen, perhaps.
Yeah. Chen, but it also costs the hero. Oh, probably what Larsen can do is equipping the Assassin's Veil, then gank, and then also redirect to the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, that seems quite good.
Oh, just
he didn't go for that.
Suicidal gank. He did have ways to actually keep it alive, but opts to not. Okay.
Gonna kill the Debbie in the mid lane.
Interesting.
Instead.
Yeah, I don't assume this was a mistake. He definitely could have kept it alive if he wanted to.
Well, what I'm gathering from this is that he has another plan for the Assassin's Veil. I'm not sure what exactly he's going to do with it, but he clearly is saving it for something else.
Yeah. Maybe for the Debbie on the right lane to redirect her.
Yep.
On to Chen.
Okay. There's a really strong Reftel Convoy here, because the Reftel Convoy is combating the Black Hero, and at the same time Reftel Convoy is a card which has 20 health, and that's obviously I mean specifically blocking heroes. I mean the Reftel Convoy can basically block Zola off for 3 entire turns, which is just crazy, saving 36 damage to the tower effectively.
Yeah. Very, very powerful card. It is a rare card, so it's one of those cards that are a little bit trickier to catch in some drafts. You don't see it all that often, but whenever you do have the opportunity to pick it, you probably should, at least if you're playing the if it supports the previous picks, if you have a green cards in your deck.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Now there's a pretty interesting choice.
Yeah, he does it.
Yeah, he's going to go in front of the hero instead of the wolf. Could have killed either, but will block Sorla's 12. Of course, there is ability to swap with the Sorlakan, but We'll see if...
yeah, it doesn't actually save the, the hero, so it doesn't accomplish much.
Well, he can also heal or putting an Assassin's Veil.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Assassin's Veil is looking better.
I mean, just like Life Coach said, you don't want to be punching a 20 health wall for 3 turns straight. So get him to kill that quick creep, and maybe he could hit towers next turn.
Specifically with the Hand of God in Mogwai's hand as well, because if you hit the convoy 2 times, dealing 16 damage, and suddenly he's just healed up again, I mean, that's a very bad result.
Yep. Here, Mogwai has the option of perhaps throwing a Viscous Nasal Goo on one of these heroes, or maybe he's thinking of developing that Celemene's Favor. What does his late game look like?
The Celemene's Favor is an improvement that can be cast across the lanes, and it gives 2 mana. It's not that strong right here, because next turn he will already have 7 mana on all of the lanes. Looks like he's choosing to play it right here. But that card definitely loses some of its value in once the game progresses.
Yep. I believe Mogwai's probably identified this lane as the one that he definitely wants to win or at least contend, because this mid lane's looking pretty scary for Mogwai, but he's slowly doing that push with the PA and the Disciple on the left lane.
Here, Gank is going to kill the green hero, which is pretty important considering that a Hand of God next turn here
Yes,
will
absolutely.
be pretty brutal. So I wonder if Yo Larsen's going to heal the hero, or he's going to let him die.
Most likely he will heal it up.
Yeah.
Unless he has a plan to locate it somewhere else, but it seems quite good to keep it up here, because Bristle Pack doesn't have many tricks for the next round to be able to finish off the hero.
Yep. And no heroes coming in for either of our players for this turn, so board state is basically what we're seeing. I think Yol's probably hoping for some creeps to stall in this first lane and block some damage. Otherwise, 12 attack right now on that PA, and perhaps some creeps coming in from Mogwai's side is going to be pretty scary.
Yeah, it's also that every creep is directly combating the hero and threatening also the other minion, so that's very strong.
Due to the -2 armor from the Disciple of Nevermore.
Yep.
So, without seeing the deploy, who's winning right now in this game?
I think Joel is winning. I think that the middle lane and the right lane, I think he has a pretty good situation there. Like Mogwai has some powerful cards, like the Hand of God, but like this round in particular, with 2 heroes in the being dead for Mogwai, it's gonna favor Joel. I feel like that intimidation as well is going to be able to clear the path later.
Mogwai does have the option now of bringing the tower down with the Oglodi Vandal.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, maybe he's also worried about the mid lane. I mean, he needs to kind of cast the intimidation there, if possible, because his tower might be threatened over turns. I mean, I'm not sure whether it's worth to play Slay here, just to save your Disciple and then also lose. Yeah, but he does.
He's going to go for it.
But if he does, then he would also like to play the Vandal as well to get rid of the tower in this very turn.
Yeah. There are situations where you want to really hold on to the Slay, especially against green, but because he knows the deck list from Joel, and he knows that Joel doesn't have any big green creatures besides the Rose Leaf Rejuvenator, there's a good chance that he won't get a better one later.
Right.
The wolves are getting big though. There was a decent sized wolf in the mid lane, so that would have been a consideration, but he clearly wants to go for the 80.
I think, Mogwai is looking to set up with 2 heroes coming in the next round, perhaps pushing for that 80 in that first lane.
Yeah, that clearly seems to be the plan. Like that Slay right there that he used is a pretty sure sign that he is trying to go for it more or less.
Yep. Yol has the option to slay the reptile and also align Sorla's arrow to the tower for damage.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to happen. There's no way he wouldn't play it, right?
Well, the intimidation would have been really strong on the black hero to undermine the Slay.
Yeah, from Mogwai, but
right.
He seemed to not want to do that. Ooh.
But now he can. I mean, now it's really powerful.
I'm actually kind of curious about this. Why didn't he already play the Slay? There we go.
Saving it for last. And now I think Mogwai is going to be pretty forced to move the Sorla, I think.
That's a tough situation.
Now, where do you want this Sorla to go, though? Because if she goes into the last lane, there's not anything that Bristle can do to stop the tower here from popping.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, you will probably be able to protect the mid lane for sure. I mean, it's on 15 lives. So.
This was definitely a huge moment here, though. The intimidation would have been so much better before if he started with that. Yeah. So if Mogwai ends up losing this game, that was definitely like a moment that he might look back on like, oops.
Yeah, both players got really cute by equipping items and healing heroes, trying to bait out the other players to make the first move, and that exchange did not work well for Mogwai. Looks like it's going to be Yol Larsen taking this tower pretty cleanly as well.
Yep. And at this point, do you think about intimidating to another lane?
I mean, he could like intimidate his own,
exactly.
own guy, but I don't think it's time for it just yet.
Not yet.
I think he's saving the intimidate to push away the Treant in the middle lane.
Yeah, that's probably even better.
Yeah.
Because especially if he gets to somehow like maintain initiative. Or he needs to get the initiative, excuse me.
Yeah, Mogwai can
put...
I mean, what Mogwai can do is he can put Chen into the middle, and Chen is a hero who can control a creep, an opponent creep.
Yeah,
and there's a big wolf out of the board there, so he will be able to control that one, and that's very good.
Yeah, it's definitely a big moment.
I think Yol Larsen may be forced to intimidate the Chen away, because I think if Chen takes the wolf, there goes the whole push. It's just too much of a swing.
Yeah, but Mogwai has initiative, so he can do that first.
Mogwai will always start by using it.
Yeah.
This is a pretty crucial round. I think it's getting pretty close, especially with that last lane too. Now that Sorla is there, there could be options for pushing for 80 there and racing against that first lane.
Right.
2 creeps spawning in for the left side for Yol Larsen, which is critical because one of them can land in front of the Disciple. And if you kill the Disciple, well, it doesn't. At least it does trade with the 2 other creeps and softens up the push.
Yep, and now this push here in the first lane is only doing 4 damage.
Oh, that's not much.
So Mogwai has 2 Hand of Gods right now.
Mogwai can no accident, but he's going to just pass and keep initiative. He needs it to take the wolf.
Yep.
There's a Chen active ability, Holy Persuasion. It should be what he plays here first.
I think so.
It should.
It really should.
It's really juicy. That's true.
Yeah. If once he takes the wolf, it's going to be going into this slot facing Abaddon. So
there we go.
Blocking some damage as well. And now I think Yol is thinking about what he can do here to perhaps get some damage. Do you think he's going to still intimidate for that 12 damage onto the tower?
I think Yol will use the intimidation to intimidate Bristleback off the right lane and try to go for a 2-turn.
Oh.
That's definitely also
That's definitely a play, yeah.
It's pretty much guaranteed 2-turn there, because there's no heroes that will be getting deployed.
Right.
No accident. His dog, bad dog, for betraying me.
Oof.
But the Hand of God comes out, and now they're invulnerable.
Yeah, that didn't do much.
So Intimidate could push for 12, which will put Mogwai down at 3, if he wants to go for a very aggressive play. How many...
oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many Vandal does Yol Larsen have in his deck?
I believe he has 1.
So Ukulodi Vandal, when you play it, it deals 4 damage.
Yep, and he saw all that.
Oh, he has the Assault Ladder, so that's 2 more.
Yeah.
Putting him at 1.
Yep.
Well, this game is pretty scary here. All of a sudden,
really close. 1 health here.
That's quite unlucky for Mogwai that the hero also went to the right lane. He would have really, really loved to have that hero on the left lane. Maybe he can go for tower damage here, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. And this Bristle is unfortunately killing this creep over here too.
I mean, he can musket
it. He can musket it.
Yeah, he probably will. I mean, letting the creep musket for 10 damage, even for 12 damage, is very powerful here.
These are cream times.
Musket onto the tree.
Do you aphotic shield a creep to block the musket shot? Because it does give a unit +2 armor, which will block the shot.
If he does do that, Mogwai can just shoot the hero.
Shoot the hero. Then also push for 6 damage. But Yol would be blocking 8 damage from the Bristle, though, which I think is pretty good.
It's going to pour it out Sorla Khan. This seems like a big mid push coming in.
Yep.
Oh, yes, he's definitely going for the mid.
Especially since no heroes for Mogwai.
It was the moment he casted the Intimidation. That was when he made the choice to go for the mid instead of the right lane.
Right. But now Joel also has to take care that he doesn't lose right lane. Because Mogwai needed to still contest the mid lane for also enough damage, or pushing the left lane, which was pretty nearly impossible. But now he only needs to contest the right lane as well to win.
Well, one creep spawns middle.
That was a very important
Yeah.
one.
So that
one creep right
that will
there.
block Sorla Khan. Again, the top deck of Uglodi Vando will be a lethal for Yo Larson. So
He got one, yeah.
yeah. Is there a way for Mogwai to get lethal in the first lane? I don't think so, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's scared.
No, but why? I mean, the hero in the left lane looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised by that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I mean, Mogwai already has the tower, so there's really nothing to block off there or to win from that play.
Spring the trap drawn from Mogwai.
Oh, there is an Oglodi, but
This for the
On the
other
wrong
different
side, wrong
player,
side.
yeah. All right. Still just a
Assassin's Veil.
trade.
Mm-hmm. So, Potion of Knowledge draws the Unearthed Secrets, which at this point,
Yeah, not so good
not
anymore.
so great.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful improvement early on, giving you card advantage, but
Mhm.
in a current situation, it's
Yeah, let's talk about this
Not it.
deploy here more. You guys said you were surprised about Sorla here, so would you have preferred Sorla in the mid lane, where it's a bit wide?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, speaking about win conditions, I mean, Solo on the left lane doesn't do much, whereas in the mid lane he can delay that he dies, and at the same time can also push maybe for some damage.
That's also my thinking. It's just
Mhm.
it's not that it would have been a game winning here in the middle lane either, but it just didn't seem to do anything at all on the left one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that there's necessarily 80 damage pressure coming in from the left lane.
Yeah,
But
because now I think Mogwai has the ability to push the mid lane in 2 turns, down in 2 turns, and that would leave heffaklumpen with 1 turn less to draw the Oglodi as a top deck.
Yeah. He does have the option to steal strength here to mitigate some of the damage.
Oh, there is no accidents against this.
No accident will take out the Assassin's Apprentice.
I think Mogwai is being very careful to hold the Oglodi in his hand because a Slay on any of these creeps could represent lethal. And I think he wants a blocker in hand, or do you think he should be aggressive and just play it?
No, I think he is afraid that there might be a Slay or something coming down.
No,
Yeah.
I think
And they're out, right? Yeah, they are already
there's
out.
no
more Slay.
slays. So he's
But maybe intimidation. So I think that Mogwai won't play the Oglodi because of that thinking.
Yeah. Of course, Yo Larson doesn't have any of those, but
This will give me the edge I need.
now spring the trap.
Yeah, he passes. That's correct. Yeah, Spring the Trap is super powerful.
Yeah.
He can even play that into the middle if he wants. I think that's even stronger.
there is a way for Yo Larson to force a kill on the Wolf by using either a Steel Strength.
Oh,
but
he
it looks
didn't
like
do it.
he's not going to go for it. Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
I think
I'm
this
also
is
surprised.
great time to play steel.
Beyond the veil
Oh,
of augury.
Okay, since this Lycan's going to hit the tower, he
Want
wants
my
to
one card, yo.
draw that card.
Yeah.
And he still has enough mana anyway to play Spring the Trap, which I think is great over here in the mid lane.
Yeah, he will definitely play it in the mid lane because
Yeah.
he already played the Unearthed Secret, so that basically shows that he wants to have this in the mid.
It's looking rough here for Yo Larson.
he might just be down to top decking that Oglodi Vandal at this point.
Yeah.
Oglodi Vandal, of course, dealing that 4 damage to the opposing tower as it enters the battlefield.
Yeah, it's very unlikely though. I mean, Heffa has really
Yeah.
only 2 draws to get this 1 Oglodi Vandal from his deck.
Okay, using the Aphotic Shield to give +2 armor and +2 retaliate. Just enough to get a kill. That kill actually put him above from 8 gold to 13, which makes Red Miss
Oh,
Maul
yeah,
a
that
draw.
was what I was
Oh,
thinking.
yes.
Yeah.
Red Miss Maul,
Oh.
now it's +5 siege, and how siege works is if a unit's blocked, it'll still do 5 damage over the
Wow.
wall.
You know what? I wonder what Yol was thinking was probably like just getting those hero kills and getting enough gold to perhaps get to his Red Miss Maul.
Yeah, he put Sorla on the first lane to trade with the PA, right? Remember?
He knows his win condition. As long as he has that siege, he can just break through without having to wait
Yeah,
for the
that
top
might have
deck.
just been it. Like he knew he had it, so he
Mhm.
went for the gold, and that was the reason he deployed.
That is amazing. I was about to ask
Yeah.
too what you guys thought of these hero kills. 'Cause killing Bristle seems to not really do anything. But
I mean, Mogwai could have just prevented that by just deploying a cloak.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
he could have just undermined the 5 gold.
Well, Mogwai can still go for a draw if he's presenting lead though, and somehow Yo Larson can't, deal with that.
Yeah, that pick off could kill off the. Well, what was the name of that hero?
Debbie.
Debbie.
Debbie,
Yeah.
Oh, he goes for...
Well, that's gonna be
Wow.
game then.
Yep,
Yep.
that's game. And actually, looking at his item deck now, he didn't even have the mole. So
Oh, he
just
didn't.
luck
Okay.
of the secret shop there.
We also don't
Mm.
know if he held it from a previous turn. Maybe
That's
that's why
true.
he's playing aggressively to kill heroes.
Yeah, we're sadly unable to see his secret shop status, but we'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
I could have just...
I guess we could have counted the goal, right? If he
Yeah.
went down by 1 goal, then we know he held an item. Maybe he's super smart, maybe he's super lucky, but he is about to take game 1.
There
we
it
go.
is.
That's rough for Mogwai. He played this game really well.
Red Miss Small. Mogwai's just pulling at his hair now. That 5 damage is going to go through despite the wolf being damage immune.
I'm ready to prove my
And
Mogwai's.
he's 1 short
Ooh.
of going draw as well.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean, there's...
with the
still
no
st-
accident,
Yeah.
that's going to take care of that. And that's our game 1.
Yeah, Red Miss Small does it again. I really like it.
His second game.
Yep, game 2 online. Looks like both black heroes are trading. This is one of the nice thing about Debbie as a basic hero. Actually trades with a lot of, actual real heroes. So thanks to Work the Knife, plus 2 damage when you're attacking heroes or buildings.
So hero kill in the first lane. Lycans dodge the bristleback.
So far, Bristow has not had much luck when
No.
I hit heroes, but
Bristle really wants to get those arrows into the enemy heroes. Bristle tends to fall off a little bit in the
Oh,
late
no
game.
accident.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, if he had to play the Disciple, then he will lose Sorlakan as well.
That's
so.
right. Sometimes it's even the better play to wait 1 turn with the no accident, because you know that his opponent is at 2 life, so you can even force the hero to sit out 1 turn longer, and that might buy you a lot of leverage as well.
Yeah. There is the risk though that there would be like a healing potion or maybe cloak to
Sure,
to
yeah.
save it.
Right.
And Mogwai did show that he does have Rumesk Blessing, which might have interfered with that plan as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yep. And perhaps Yol also wants to have some options with his mana with this turn as well. He has a Disciple in hand.
Yeah.
And if Debbie doesn't go into this lane, it could be a great turn to start dealing damage to the Slash Tower.
Oh, if Mocha would have played Debbie on the left lane, he would have had a clear gank on the Abaddon.
Yeah.
So, because Debbie deals 2 more damage to heroes, which means 9-5 is the perfect answer against 4-9, and Abaddon heals only after 1 turn. So, that would have been amazing.
And now without a black hero in the first lane, I think Yo Larson feels very comfortable to develop the Savage Wolf, which he knows will grow to a 4-5.
Right.
Yep. Seems pretty good.
Yep. Some creeps drawn from Mogwai, which will be handy later for blocking all of these wolves, but Abaddon's going to finish off this creep here so that 2 more damage can push through and also put down the Savage Wolf.
I mean, Savage Wolf is not such a big threat because Mogwai does have the Chen, and Chen is dealing an enemy creep after 4 turns, which means he can let the Savage Wolf grow big, and then he can take it. So that's kind of the natural answer to that.
Yeah.
Oh, good boy. Saving his daddy.
He keeps initiative, okay.
Yeah, he wants really to hip fire this and get the Sorlakan out of the way.
Yep.
Deals 9 in the process.
And now 3 heroes coming out for Mogwai here. 2
Ooh, that's
for
a teleport scroll as well. That's a great card to have because you know there are 2 intimidates in your opponent's deck, and that could really get your heroes out of position. But he's opting for a better HP item instead.
Yeah, this is a crucial hero deployment for Mogwai right now.
Yeah, I think Chen has to be on the left, that's clear. And okay, so he decides in this way.
When you PP scroll in the shop, do you always tend to buy it?
Yeah, I tend
Almost every
Almost
time.
every
Yeah.
time.
Like 90% of the time, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it depends very much on the game state. So in the very early game, you definitely don't like to buy it because it's 3 gold and you will definitely not use it. But in the late game, it's very important that you are able to shift lanes with your heroes. So I would say if you are at mana 6 plus, you probably buy it. If you're at mana 5 or 5 or 3, you probably don't.
I oftentimes even buy it earlier just to be sure, because you can't know if you'll find one later. So
Right.
I tend to, but I might buy it even too often. Maybe that's that's just my thing. Like I find it very difficult to pass.
You just always feel a little safer when you have a tele scroll. You know?
Right.
It's your get out free card.
Yeah.
If you are limited on gold and you already know that you're going to need something like a cloak maybe on one of your heroes, it can make sense in some situations to pick the cloak first. But TP scroll for sure hard to pass up.
It seems like a tough turn here for Mogwai. There's a lot of options. He could go for mana ramp, or he could go slay the wolf. But it looks like both teams or both players are just going to be opting to, again, passing the turn back and forth a little bit to wait to see what the other player does.
Yep, both the cloak and the Abaddon ability. Not like super necessary right now, but like you said, they just wanted to see what the other person does first.
Mogwai could have also opted in to deploy the Fur-lined Mantle because as things stands, he knows that the Abaddon will deal 2 times 6 damage to the Phantom Assassin, and if this happens, that's exactly 12. So by deploying his Mantle, he gives Heffa exactly the option to kill the Phantom Assassin exactly, which is probably a suboptimal result.
Now Yol does have Slay here. Mogwai passed the initiative, which could be dangerous because if Yol decides to, he can enter the combat phase right now. But he's thinking about maybe if he wants to slay this creep to push for 11 damage to the tower with Debbie and this creep, or just put down a Savage Wolf.
Ooh, and that's
that's
the downside of going first here.
No Mogwai can play this.
Oh, okay. Mogwai decides not to no accident that Savage Wolf. Decides to have initiative here.
Yeah, he clearly wanted the initiative then.
And to play a Fur-lined Mantle in the second line.
Interesting. Because he was worried for his bristle then.
Yeah, so this bristle was at 3 health, so he was probably scared of a no accident coming from Yol as well. So he wanted to equip that mantle to save him.
Yeah, that's a lot for the gen now. If the gen was somehow removed from the first lane, those wolves are going to be very devastating.
It's still 2 more turns until Chen's ability gets active, so that Chen needs to survive for a while.
Yep. And keeping the Fur-lined Mantle on Bristle, I suppose Mogwai just wanted to make sure he was able to play these cheap blockers in case there is a Disciple coming out or some other creep that's threatening.
Seems like a pretty good slay target here.
Yep, considering there are a lot of creeps in this deck.
Yeah, you really don't want that to stay there.
Yeah, it's very annoying, and especially with the Treant Protector, that armor is just frustrating.
Yeah, the Stonehole Elite, of course, getting a +2 attack and +2 health every time it kills a creep. So it would have effectively already been a 6-4 if it stayed on the board, because it would have killed that creep.
This turn has looked really bad for Mogwai so far.
Yeah.
I think he has fallen quite behind.
Debbie's still pushing on that tower in the last lane, but I think these other 2 lanes look pretty good for Yol so far.
Yeah, Sorlakan will be coming in. It's not exactly too clear where he's going to play that, though. Will you guys deploy him left?
Yeah, looks like it.
Seems like it.
The board is wide enough that Sorla can just reliably go into this slot.
Or not.
But that creep coming in just says no.
And the arrow, too, going on to PA, who's going to be tanking in quite a bit. I do think the most important kill here is actually the Chen kill,
there's
though.
a good Akra.
Yeah, that Chen, you don't want him taking your wolves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cards here. A lot of options available.
Yeah. Mogwai could decide to coup de grace, I always forget that, onto the Abaddon and prevent Yol from playing any green cards. He does have those 4 Rebel decoys, and so if he wanted to, he could add a Rebel decoy here and swap Sorla out to hit the tower.
It doesn't save PA, though. That is, I think it's the issue with that play.
It's true.
Now it looks like we're going to see a Roseleaf Druid come down.
Yep. And the 1 extra mana he gains from that allows him to still use something like the Slay, which is probably plan here.
Yeah,
So
you probably slay the wolf in front of Chen.
either that or the no accident. That would also get the job done on the
Yeah.
smaller
That's
wolf.
true.
Or you could just slay the bigger wolf and have your Chen trade with a smaller wolf, so you're essentially dealing with the wolf problem.
You don't want to trade. Yeah, I think you want to save the Chen, because then you can grab the bigger wolf. Or the left
yeah,
wolf.
that's
Yeah.
definitely fair.
Yeah, so no accident on the right wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Lets him save the Chen and steal that next turn. So that's going to be a big moment potentially next turn. Here the rebel decoy. Could that help
Yeah,
Joel kill the Chen now?
Yes, he can. He could put the
Mhm.
Sorla Khan in front of it, right?
Yep. But we do have a healing salve in the hand of Mogwai.
Or you could put Debbie in front of it. Debbie even does more. Debbie does 9.
That's true.
Yeah, so maybe he could go for the Debbie then, just to like
Yeah.
kind of make sure. On the other hand, though, he could kind of technically save the Abaddon here by trading that or swapping that. But he does know that Mogwai has 2 items in the hand right now, so one of those is very likely to be either a healing salve or a cloak.
Yeah, Mogwai passes to see where the swap is going to go.
Another thing to note is that there is the gun available on the Abaddon,
Yeah.
so he will be
Yeah.
able to.
There
Deal
should
the
be
2
more than
damage.
enough damage.
Yeah.
And if Yolarson needed even more damage, he also has Disciple of Nevermore to give a quick +2
Oh,
in
yeah.
hand. So Chen is not long for life.
Yeah. Really thinking through what to swap that decoy with, and looks like he's going for the Debbie here.
Yep.
And now Mogwai has the option to heal Chen back up to 9,
Which wouldn't be enough.
which would not be enough, so there's no point on doing it. So equips the short sword instead
To get a trade.
to
yeah.
get a trade. So here, do you think Disciple is worth it at all?
I think he loses more creeps to
Yes,
Disciple.
I think
so
he loses that rebel decoy.
yeah.
Maybe assault ladders to the middle lane, or
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I don't,
Mhm.
Yeah, looks like he does too. Getting that extra damage to the tower.
Healing Salve's PA. Unfortunately, no way for Yol now to save the Abaddon.
Life coach, what's your read on the game so far? Seems like both players are going back and forth.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I guess Mogwai has his hands full in the defense at the very moment, but at the same time he has also quite a lot of powerful cards still in his hand. So yeah, maybe if Chen comes back, the hero who controls other creeps, maybe he can control a big creep and might shift the game into his favor by doing so.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now as well. Like Joel is definitely has the upper hand, but maybe there are, especially those like there's already we see coup de grace and intimidation, but there are also those hand of God, was it?
Yeah,
there's
Hand of
also
God,
those somewhere in Mogwai's deck. So
I have also kind of the feeling that Mogwai is not playing his cards that proactive, so that's also one of the reasons why he ends up with a lot of cards in his hand. And while the cards in the hand are not doing that much if they are not being played, so maybe he might be a little bit too conservative with the usage of cards as well.
we saw that kind of in the first game as well.
Right,
He was
yeah.
doing that in multiple instances.
Yeah.
Yol's going to go ahead and use Divine Intervention to save his Lycan.
Makes sense.
I was surprised that the creep did not go in front of Sorla Khan, and then you could follow that up with a Nazogu to deal the 6. Obviously, it would not have worked because of the Divine Intervention, but you would block 12 damage, or 14 damage rather, coming in from Sorla.
Right, you could have tried it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You would have blocked off like 8 more damage doing so.
Exactly. And 20 is a lot with
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like it might have been slightly better. Also, just holding on to the goo, there doesn't seem to be all that much value in holding
Yeah.
on to it.
Mogwai keeps initiative. So in this first lane, he does have a coup ready.
Yep.
So if he wanted to, he could kill Sorla, and which I think he might have to because this tower right now is taking 17.
Yeah.
We'll see how the creeps are deployed. Oh, two creeps here.
And we have also to say if there are like suboptimal plays from players, it's I wouldn't say that it comes with such a surprise because I mean, Mogwai played all 7 matches yesterday, the entire day, and also today he went already through the quarter and the semi-finals, and that also takes its toll exhaustion-wise. Yeah, so while you're still very awake and can focus on all these micro things as well, the longer the hours, the more the exhaustion. I mean, you can definitely feel it at some point.
I'm always somewhat afraid to call suboptimal plays because I find that players are also thinking about certain things that we're not thinking of. So they might be seeing, they might be expecting a different top deck or
or they're indexing hard on some card and playing around it.
Right. Well, the creeps coming in the left side is really nice for Mogwai. And critically, let's not forget that Chen is coming back in 1 turn, and there's a juicy wolf that you can steal.
All right, there we go. Some big ups there.
Yep. Mogwai can also coup de grace. Exactly.
They lose a slay though, but
but at the same time, you undermine the opponent's plays for an entire turn. I mean, that's really, really powerful.
He will have the. He also the slay. If it was for the wolf, there's the Chen coming on next.
He wants the wolf.
You almost want to keep it alive for now.
Yeah.
Just to get it to yourself.
He could now finish off the rebel decoy with a musket. Yeah, that's exactly his way of thinking.
Push 2 more damage. Even though right now Yo Larson is at 40, once you take that wolf, damage is going to come by quite fast.
Oh yes. I mean, it's also that Yol already dealt 20 damage to the left tower, so if can Mogwai stabilize the tower now, I mean, that would be a very good result for him.
Okay, Yo Larson is going to say, I don't care about the arrow, as he kills the creep, and Sorla is now going face.
Yep, and the only thing that Bristle can play in this lane is the Viscous Nasal Goo, which isn't going to stop the 20 damage to the tower.
Yeah, like the Bristle late game.
Bristle.
Bristleback is, in my opinion, it's one of the heroes that when you first start playing Artifact, you feel like, oh, it's so powerful, especially early on when if you get a hero kill or so, but it really tends to fall off in the late because the red spells are just kind of not that powerful, and it's tough to get good use out of it. The black spells are so much better.
Yep, and looking at this now, there are 3 heroes now coming out for Yol next lane since he TP'd out that Lycan. And having taken this mid, it's going to be a fight for one of these lanes, most likely the left.
I would expect Mogwai, even though the Hand of God, he does have a pair of those, he could use it, but I would expect him to hold on to the initiative to get the Chen steal on the wolf. I think he's going for that with the initiative. So there's no intimidation on the Chen, for example, before the steal.
Right, but now you might even also opt in, maybe even going for the right lane, or maybe doubling up on the middle lane. So he has all the options. But yeah, that because he also knows that Chen has to go to the left.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
In one of the earlier quarterfinal games, we also saw him deploy all 4 hero in 1 lane and go for 80 too.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
But looks like going for the right lane. I have to say I like it. The battling.
Thinks about it.
He's still thinking about it. It's a tough decision.
But he should not split them, right? I mean, it's rather, all left, all right.
He does have Disciple and Assault Ladders in hand, so there's some place he can go where he can hit the tower.
He is going to fight for the left lane. I don't know if it's going to work out. There are those Hand of Gods and the steal.
Yeah.
Well,
Joe Larson needs to top deck something like an intimidation here.
Yeah.
So
he has it! Oh! All right, it is intimidation.
That is definitely the card.
So you have to start with stealing the creep, right? Like
you need to steal first, yes. But then the intimidation is going to come down, and the green hero will be banished from this lane. That was a huge draw for Joe.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. Well, are you sure it is going to be green? Because black also represents coup de grace and maybe slays or other creeps that you could play. I'm not entirely sure if it's 100% green.
I mean, because there's 3 copies of Hand of God, and it would be so powerful here. So
that's true.
So I think just due to the sheer amount of those potential green powerful spells, I think that's it. Because I think coup de grace, for example, it wouldn't be as bad. Because you have 3 heroes here, so losing
he passes.
He's just going to intimidate Chen away.
No, he can just shoot this now.
Shoot, now we're in the same spot. Like, this is worse. Like,
okay.
What's happening?
Did he forget that the Chen?
I don't. That was.
No.
But we can call this suboptimal, right?
Yes.
We can call it that.
We can call that one suboptimal. All right.
I wonder what's the face cam on Yol right now.
Is that
He's
lethal?
just-
Yeah,
That's lethal.
Okay, well, that was
Oh my
instant.
goodness!
That was
We're
instant
seeing
punish. That
our
was,
champion in the making right here.
Whew.
What?